Hello there, everyone. Welcome back to the 1894 podcast. We are back after a quite tragic display from Bristol City on the road. It was a complete sea change from the monumental and somewhat unbelievable display at West Ham and at the London Stadium. And Bristol City put up one of the most uninspiring passive performances I've seen in quite a long time. And it ended at Deepdale on the Saturday. Preston North End 2, Bristol City 0. I have with me Matiss, as always, to talk about that complete and utter. Can I swear? Is that okay?
We can do whatever we want on here.
It was a complete and utter shit show. And it was dreadful. And yeah, we'll briefly touch on the Preston game because we have a glory hunter with me who didn't watch the game. Or day tripper.
I'm an absolute day tripper. Yeah.
Disgusting.
I had a choice between refereeing a football match or watching Bristol City, and I went for the referee game. It was a well paid game and got that done. And I mean, that was a good decision. One of the best I've made in my life. Yeah, I watched the highlights and I've read about the game and what it had. But yeah, it's just classic Bristol City, really. I mean, off the back of that positive performance, we go to London Stadium and it's a brilliant performance and we get a result against a Premier League side, and then back to championship ways of just playing like that against Preston, who, yeah, it's away from home, but they have been in some poor form recently. But yeah, that game was something else. We had more shots on target, not on target, just shots in general, actually, throughout the game. Possession was about equal, and I listened to a bit of the game as well. Yeah, first half seemed the more dominant. We had that chance with Taylor Gardner-Hickman. Just lacked a bit of composure there. I felt like that was a big opportunity missed. And then, yeah, the second half just fell apart. They made a triple substitution at half time and then kind of unfolded from there for us.
Well, weirdly, just quickly along the bottom, it was the same team that played at West Ham. I was a bit surprised by that. I thought maybe a couple of changes. I'm thinking Matty James, maybe Naki Wells, Tommy Conway, maybe even Harry Cornick. There's a bit of a curveball in there. Obviously, no changes to the back line because, well, apart from today, it's a bit of a surprise, actually, because we expected Ross McCrory to be in the squad. But Hayden Roberts is back as well. And that was good news. So I'll just take that off as, yeah, sorry for anyone listening to the audio. For anyone listening to the audio, actually. Max in goal, Tanner, Dickey, Viner, Pring, Williams, Gardner Hickman, Jason Knight. He was captain. Mehmeti off the left, Conway and Sambell up top. I was a bit surprised by no changes, as I said, because we've got a fairly short turnaround to the game against West Ham in midweek. So just quickly, were you surprised by a lack of changes, or were you going to expect changes against West Ham?
Yeah, no, I agree. And when we did the preview as well, we expected at least one or two, because the fact that we played so well against West Ham last weekend, I would have thought we would have put that same team up at home on Tuesday night. So just for a bit more rotation and rest, I thought we would have swapped out a couple players. So yeah, a bit surprised now, because now we'll have to see what he plays for Tuesday, because we have a double game week because of the replay. So it'll be interesting now how he plays this coming week. But yeah, was surprised, and then we waited until the 75th minute till even our first substitution. So quite a long time and a lot of minutes for these players recently.
In summary of the game, first half, kind of pretty much the same nonsense we've been saying for a while. It was that's a bit harsh, actually. It was the kind of same story. I'd take that back. It wasn't nonsense. It was pretty good. But we just could not take our chances. Taylor Gardner-Hickman missed a good chance. He was put through on goal, and then he had the chance. He had the choice of either squaring it to Conway or hitting it. Hit it. Didn't go well. And Jason Knight had an effort saved by Freddie Woodman as well. Going to halftime 0-0. Preston, obviously, Ryan Lowe's very determined to go and win that game with the pressure on him. He makes a triple sub at halftime. Osmajic comes off, Dwayne Holmes comes off, Alan Brown comes off, Emil Reese comes on, Will Keane comes on. Can't remember the other one. So you do that while you confirm whilst I.
Jensen and Jakobsen came on as well.
That's the same. That's the same bloke. Oh, sorry. Oh no, that is Oh, you mean Matt Anthony? Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. Yeah, that's one. So yeah, he comes on. I don't know what. Yeah, he came on, and Preston just took the game by the scruff of the neck and completely, completely dominated. If I'm being really honest. And the first goal is really, really poor. Blame whoever the hell you want, but it's a complete mess from start to finish because it's literally just one straight long ball through. You can't concede like that. It's just ridiculous. It's just a complete joke. I don't care if you want to blame Max, if you want to blame Rob Dickey or Zach Viner. It is just a joke. You can't concede goals like that.
No, it is very true. I think we can put the blame on a lot of them, but at the end of the day, I feel like Max just anticipated something just incorrectly, and he just went out too quick, got a bit stressed out, and thought he could collect the ball and just hit it out. I think, he jumped off his line a bit too quickly for that one. But yeah, it's just one of those where just composure goes completely out the window. And Will Keane comes on second half, grabs himself a yellow, gets 2 goals. I mean, pretty eventful for him. But yeah, that's exactly what Preston needed. I mean, this game was a must not lose situation for them. And the fact that they kept in it in the first half and then came back out. We just didn't really react. Triple substitutions worked brilliantly and they went deservedly 1-0 up.
And to be fair to Max, a lot of the times he has done that. It has worked. To be fair, he has anticipated it quite well, and to be fair, he's come out of his box and his area quite well. And that is kind of hard to find in a goalkeeper these days. And he has prevented quite a lot of big chances for the opposition. So there's always going to be a time where that does go wrong. But to be fair, he just completely missed the ball, and that's always not good. The second goal is just, Ross McCrory comes on, which is good to see. He comes back after a long wait for his Bristol City debut. He comes on at the right wing back in place of Sam Bell. City kind of temporarily moved to a back 3 with, I think, Tanner kind of tucking in alongside Viner and Dickey, so they just move up one, and Campering plays as the left wing back. So McCrory comes on. We go to a 5 at the back. McCrory tries to take his man on, doesn't end well. I'm going to give him a pass, obviously, but it wasn't great from Ross. We're on a first name basis now, basically, mate. He tries to take his man on. He gets robbed. Then Rob Dickey, weirdly enough, is out of position, and it's not good. It's not good either way. He just gets work from left to right from Preston, puts the ball in from the ball comes in from Emil Reese, and Will Keane is there to tap it in, and that is about it really. Bristol City didn't really harm Freddie Woodman's goal after that too much. There's a few comfortable saves, but apart from that, it was pretty dreadful in front of goal from a Bristol City perspective. Any final thoughts on that complete mess in Lancashire?
Yeah, I mean, watching this goal back again, it's just a complete lack of awareness, and we're just so static at the back there. Viner doesn't really know what's going on, and then Will Keane's the only really one to make a pounce and finish it off. Just a poor game. Obviously, it's nice to see Ross McCrory make his debut in a City shirt. We've waited a long time for this, so we'll have to give him a few games just to get warmed up after a long time off the pitch. We'd made that triple substitution in the 75th minute, tried to spark something up, but straight away they scored that second, and then the game's over really by then. Just disappointing really. It's how the Championship goes. We win 3 on the bounce, go 4 unbeaten, 1 point off the playoffs, 2 points, and then kind of back down to reality with what we're used to, conceding late goals at home and losing away to out of form sides, shall we say. But
It's just the same issues, though, again, over and over again. And we've known this for a while, really, where we are decent in possession. And I'd like to think a lot of our fans, even the most pessimistic and the most anti kind of Liam Manning fans, would kind of say we're getting better in possession. But it's just that final ball at the moment. And when Jason Knight is your most creative player, or seemingly the player who's going to take the onus to try and create something the final third, it's not really the ideal situation you want to be in. Look, maybe we're trying to rectify that very hard in the transfer window. Hopefully that is the case, and it certainly looks like a body definitely will be coming through with the news of Andy Vyman going out, which is interesting. Have we talked about Andy Vyman leaving? I don't think we have.
haven't.
So we'll talk about that after. We'll talk about that after we talk about the games. But yeah, you'd think a body's coming through in the attacking positions because we are a bit light otherwise. And you'd think an attacking midfield is coming through because we've been linked to quite a few attacking players and attacking midfield players, and Manning has outlined he wants one.
I think it does come down to that. I mean, I know we've had the lack of depth in defence recently, but we still have one of the best defensive records in the league. And, well, fingers crossed, but towards the end of this month, start of February, we should have all of our first team players back within the match squad. But obviously it will take time for Benarous and Atkinson especially to slowly get back and used to game time. But yeah, definitely an attacking players needed. We just haven't scored enough goals at the end of the day. And it just comes down to consistency, really. We scored eight goals in 3 games. And then our last 4 we've scored 2. It's just consistency throughout seasons, and the fact that that was our first 3 on the bounce in what was it, 3 years maybe. It just, yeah, we just need to create runs of good form because at the moment we just go on, we play promising football, and it looks like we've cracked the code, and then we come back and then these reoccurring problems that we're seeing, and just that lack of composure, lack of awareness at the back, and then we can't find that final pass going forward. But hopefully we can eventually fix that. And yeah, like we said, perhaps an attacking creative midfielder to come in before the end of the month.
Yeah, that's it's basically a recurring issue that we have to fix, and hopefully the club and Liam Manning are trying to rectify that both on the grass and in the transfer window, because ultimately that is the only way we're going to go about fixing this. Yeah, that's about it. At the moment, Bristol City are averaging, I think, 1.3 points per game, 1.3 recurring points per game. Do you want to guess, if you spread that out for the rest of the season, do you want to guess where we would have finished last season?
On how the trajectory for how we're doing right now.
So if we take 1.3 points per game this season, which we are at currently, do you want to guess where we would have finished last season? I'll give you a hint.
14.
It's our favorite ever position. You're right, 14th.
Favorite. And that's position. Where we are right now.
Yes, that is where we are right now. It is just brilliant.
Right,
I like
in the middle of the championship. Well, not exactly.
Right,
but,
yeah, it's great. I saw some ludicrous comments about how we've not improved under Liam Manning. Sorry. I'll rephrase that. I saw some ludicrous comments about how someone said when Nigel Pearson was sacked, we were 15th, and then since Liam Manning has come over, which is 12 games roughly, we've gone up 1 position, 14th. So therefore, no progress has been made. So the bloke has just contradicted himself, basically. And the fact that Liam Manning's had 12 games and not 2.5 years. Also, quite different scenarios. So, City fans, thank you very much to everyone that's tuned in. And yeah, if you have made it this far, actually, if wherever you're listening, put a hashtag on Twitter, tag. Let's remember this. Tag at the 1894 podcast, saying, what should we say? just to prove that they're worthy listeners who are listening, who are dedicated. What should they say? Oh no, I know. Matiss hasn't talked about Alex Scott yet.
Oh, we haven't talked about Alex Scott yet.
Yeah, they don't want to talk about him. Yeah.
Pring to score a Pring scrappy goal.
That's too long. Already too long.
Pring goal.
Oh, Pring goal. Either put Pring hashtag Pring goal or hashtag Alex Scott. Something like that.
Yeah.
That'd be nice. So take a screenshot or whatever, and then put it on X or Twitter, and yeah, that's a nice little plug actually. Tag us on at the 1894 podcast, where you can follow us as well. Haven't been as active on there, apologies, but we are getting there slowly.